What's up, everybody? KG and Don Montoya here, coming at you today, fulfilling our promises of more AMAs as we gear up for this V1 release of the Internet Money Wallet, the native PulseChain wallet, the first tokenized crypto wallet of its kind, secure, private, financial freedom opportunities, freeing your time. That's what we came here for in crypto. Don, how you doing today?
Fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited to be here. I'm excited to be so close to what we've, as a team, have been working for over a year now, what the community has been working for over a year now. It is awesome to be so close, right on the cusp, and I'm ready to skyrocket to greatness.
I've been ready. Let's rock and roll.
All right, let's say hello to the comments real quick. And hey, this is an AMA, so if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to drop them in the comments here. We will get to all questions. If it's relevant to the topic that we're on, we'll answer it right then and there. If it's a completely different topic, we're going to circle back to it at the end. So regardless of what your question is, drop it. We'll get there. What's up, Michael Lamont? Hopefully the monkey update. Avoid those bananas. Skins, peanuts, brains. I don't get it, but I like it. What's up, Rax Ropes?
In a weird way.
What's up, DJ Bomber? Oh, big music intro. Yeah. Oh, yeah. John Bomer, the first Internet Money community developer. Shout out to the legend himself. Vets in Crypto, good to see you. Goran, good to see you. And if I'm not saying that right, let me know. Al Samak, what's up, my brother? Pepe and Sage, good to see everybody. Thanks for joining in. All right. Well, without further ado, let's jump right into these updates. If this stream isn't 2 hours long, that's okay. We came here for updates. We came here to answer questions. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So we want to deliver it in a compact and digestible manner. Oh, Bob Lowe, LFG. On every single Internet Money, Bob Lowe comes in with an LFG, and I expect to see it every time, and I appreciate it every time. Thanks, Bob. All right. Let me get my notes pulled up here.
Yeah, good point, Vets. Like and share, comments, all that stuff is great for the algorithm.
Yep, absolutely. All right. For those that don't know, actually, Vets, myself, and my wife, we got to know each other a little bit when we were in Vegas. He needed a ride, and we rode back together from the golf course. So it was cool to get to know you there, man. So, all right, let's kick it off with the website. So everything, all of our updates we gave about 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks have passed. Here we are. The website is done. And right now we are just working through the transfer of how the old website was hosted to how the new website is going to be hosted. And we're estimating that the new website is launching within 48 hours. We have another AMA coming up on Wednesday. So we expect that at that AMA, we're going to make the official announcement that, hey, the website is live. So keep your eyes out within the next 48 hours, the new website should launch. So that's really exciting. It looks really good. And we're going to continue to build out more on it. But I think that everybody's going to agree that the new version of this website is way better than the the previous version of, or the existing version of the website. Definitely Web3, definitely cool. And you know what, Don? Last night we were watching this show on Netflix called Encounters, and it's just aliens are in. They've
Uh-oh, KG. Seems like you froze again. Let me just reach out to KG, let him know he's frozen. All right. So yeah, so what KG was saying, with the theme that we have, it seems to lend itself well to what's going on out there in the world as a whole. Aliens are everywhere. It's a hot topic. It brings up, there he is, brings up a certain je ne sais quoi inside your mind when you start to think about, are we alone or not? And we're really excited to partake in that thought process with our aliens. But go ahead, KG.
Nope, you hit it. It's just that it's always been in, and we're right in line with what activates that human psyche. So I'm glad we went with the aliens in the new brand. Okay.
Yep.
So let's continue on. And apologies if I freeze out, Don. You just take the rock and run. We're sharing the same mind, anyways. So just continue on from where I froze up.
You got it.
All right. I do want to talk one more update about the branding as well. Our designer, he is actively working on updating the listings for Android and iOS. Chrome will come after that. So we've got him all the screenshots and everything. So it's going to update those listings, and that's going to look really clean. It's going to be better for the App Store optimization, and it's going to, in my opinion, make everything seem a little bit more professional. And that's ultimately what we're going for with all these branding updates, is more, not that it's not professional now, but hey, it's going to enhance that professionalism, and also it's going to enhance the stickiness of the brand, and we want to be memorable, and I think that's exactly what we're doing. So those are being worked on as well. I believe the timeline for getting the Android and iOS App Store branding updated is going to be this week. So, and then we'll see those pushed within the next few versions. So those aren't far out either. We do want to make a quick public service announcement about test flight. So if you are an iOS user only this is only for iOS users. When we first launched the wallet, it was through the iOS test flight. Now that we've been on the official App Store for 4 to 6 months, however long it's been, there are still some users that are using the test flight version of the iOS app. We need you to please save your private keys, save your seed phrase, download the official App Store app, and reset your wallet up there. We know it's going to be maybe an annoying transition that first time, but you're only going to have to make it once, because we are actually going to turn off the test flight, the public test flight. So only our private beta group is going to be using that test flight version. We're noticing more issues having a certain group of people on test flight and a certain group of people on the main app store. And it's just making things way too clunky and complex from a development standpoint. So we have to get you off test flight. It's a better experience anyways, because when we're pushing these test builds, they're going to test flight. So people that are on test flight are getting the weird updates, and it's going to be a better experience for you going forward. So please save your private keys and seed phrase, import to the public app store version. We will be turning off public test flight soon. Don, did you have anything you wanted to say there?
No, just to reiterate, sometimes, and again, big shout out to our admins here. We see a lot of you in the group. It is kind of arduous to continue to answer the same questions over and over again. But one question we do need to be asking people out there is, hey, are you on test flight or are you on from the App Store? Because we still have what, 2,000 people on test flight, 2,000 downloads ish.
2,600 actually.
So there's 2,600 people out there, or devices with apps, whatever, that are still getting these private builds, and there are weirdness with them. That's where we do our testing before we release to the public. So it causes some internal issues and it cross marinates build. So again, make sure your seeds are properly stored, and that's not even just with our wallet, just in general. Always, I have a pretty big anxiety of that, and I'm OCD about it. So every 6 months or so, I just make sure that I could always recreate my seeds into the device or whatever that I'm using, just to make sure that they are stored properly. I know where they're at, because you could put something away 5-6 years goes by, and where did I put it? Maybe the wife was doing something or whatever, and she took a box and put it over here, and now something's over there. So definitely keep track of where they are. Don't take for granted that you'll always remember. Just, be safe out there, because you are your own custodian, and we have to start acting like it, being responsible.
100%. 100%. Well said. And we got a couple updates here. We got glad to hear about the new website. What's up, Aventus? Good to see you. John Bulmer, the aliens are a great theme for internet money. Completely agree, because it's out of this world. We got Vets in Crypto. Oh, that's a big PSA. I'm one of those. Roger that. Thank you, sir. It's a one-time transition, and it's going to create a better experience for you overall, because you're only going to get the versions that have been tested, vetted, and are being pushed for public consumption, so to speak. So kudos to you, brother. All right, let's continue on. Actually, I think Rax Rope's question is great, because we'll transition into development updates for the wallet itself now. And I think this is actually a great place to start. So Rax says, is there a plan for having stay logged in option for the wallet? When going from condensed screen to expand, it requires login again. So he's talking about the Chrome extension. And the answer is yes, and it's being worked on. In our last AMA, we made the announcement that it was actively being worked on, and we made some progress there, but we paused that for about a week because we wanted to get a new version out to the public, which we did. So yes is the short answer. The long answer is how it's going to play out, how we're developing it to play out, is when you open up the little window, you are going to have to type in your password. But when you do that, it's going to keep it open for 10 minutes. So if you're like connecting to a dApp or whatever, it's going to stay open for 10 minutes. So if you expand to its own tab, it should carry over that 10 minutes as well. So you will have to type in your password every 10 minutes, but that's actually good for security, because if you walk away from your computer or something, then it's going to log out after 10 minutes. So nobody can come to your computer and be like, oh, hey, what's this? Now, going forward after V1, one of the features we're going to have is you're going to be able to do a custom lockout timer. So right now we're just doing it 10 minutes by default to overcome that, but we will build out more functionality for that as time goes on. Let's talk about where we're at overall with the app and, these timelines, right? Because that's the most important thing here. So about 3 to 5 days ago, we pushed a new version of the app out to the public. And that was a really, really big update. That was the first update we pushed public in about a month, maybe a little more than a month. So there was a lot of core packages that we upgraded there. We changed around several aspects of the UI. We added some new functionality. We did a lot of testing. We tested, and then we went public. Now, some users out there are experiencing a few quirks, a few bugs here and there with this new build. And it just goes to show that it is impossible to test every scenario, right? Because in our private tests, everything was running ship shape smooth. And you go public, you insert in new geographic locations, new devices, new internet types, different OSs, operating systems, and it's just impossible to get every use case, right? It could be like, oh, reflection token to reflection token on BSC causes this error. You literally just can't test every single thing in the test environment. So that brings up point number one. We are looking for people who are motivated and interested in being one of these testers. We have a growing list of things that need to be tested every time we push out a public update. And so we can't have too many testers. So if you're interested and you are somebody that actively wants to see this project succeed, we need those private testers. And we're still never going to be able to cover every instance of an edge case. But the more people we can have testing, the more edge cases that we can find before we go public, which ultimately makes every public release a better user experience for everybody. And the better user experiences that we have for everybody, the the better of an experience that people will receive the wallet. If you believe in this wallet, if you believe in time, I am future, and you want to see this ecosystem grow, this is an active way you could play a part in that. Don, anything you want to say there before I continue?
No, I think again, you're pretty good at this thing that you're doing here. You said almost everything you need to say, because the whole vastness of everything that we're doing, like, okay, everything works fine, but then when you go to connect to DApp, crazy DApp XYZ, something weird happens. We're not going to connect to every DApp. We're not going to trade in every liquidity pair on every device with the iPhone SE, with the iPhone 14. In the East Coast of the United States and the West Coast of the United States. Like, there's so many different variations of everything. So even if you pick up your phone and you want to test out 3 different functions, that's great. Read everything, look for misspellings or grammar issues, which we think that we're all good there, but just case in point, any little thing that you do will help us greatly.
And if you would like to be a private tester, please join our Telegram. It's at Internet Money IO on Telegram. Or you just go to the website, click join our community, tag Don or myself in that main chat. Let us know you want to be a private tester, and we will get you in our private test group. So anybody and everybody, much appreciated. And to our existing private testers, thank you. Truly, you find so much, and it's amazing because it allows us to get better before we go out there to the public. So now, with that said, if you are experiencing some quirkiness in this most recent version that we just put out, we hear you. We've got a lot of things logged and noted from this release, and a lot of them have already been fixed, and the rest of them are being fixed as we speak. So it's growing pains of getting out of beta, but this build that we just pushed is probably the last build of this size that we are going to have pushed before V1, because we're not changing core packages anymore. We're not changing around any UIs, at least not in any significant way anymore. UI is user interface, for those that don't know. When you're looking at a wallet or an app, that is the UI, right? User interface. So if you hear us say UI, we're just talking about how basically things are displayed on the screen. So yeah, so the next version that we're working on pushing out this week is going to clean up a lot of the stuff that was found in this version, and that should make a really awesome experience going in to the next couple of weeks. And with that said, we believe we are still in line on our it was 4 to 6 weeks on the last AMA that we were going to be submitting to security audit. We believe we are still in line on that. Now it's 2 to 4 weeks. We believe that we're going to be able to submit to security audit with what will be effectively the V1 version. So 2 to 4 weeks, we're still in line. Things are still moving.
Seems that KG froze again. Just give me 1 second here. Yeah, so just to finish up that thought, still in line with that time frame. And then once we go to security audit, there's obviously they're going to need a couple weeks to do what they do. They may or may not find something. If they find something, we have to make the corrections or adjustments, and then the timeline continues from there. But we'll update you every step of the way. Welcome back, Mr. G. Take it from there.
Yeah. So apologies for everybody watching about the freezing. One of the benefits, the pros and cons. Sorry, one of the cons of living on the outskirts of society is you don't get the most reliable internet connection. So that is just the nature of living in nature. Yeah. So I think we said everything there. We're still on pace for that 2 to 4 weeks of submitting. So we did shave off 2 weeks. We're still confident. If anybody has any questions about that, please let us know. I do see a question here. All right, well, a few questions came in. We will take those. Pepe says, about when I connect Trezor wallets, when I disconnect them from the Internet Money wallet, it holds the memory of the Trezor wallets. Even when I sign in and out without the Trezor, I see Trezor wallets, Chrome. Okay, you could just remove account. So on the main wallet screen, if you click remove account, you can hit the little red minus and it'll take it off of there. But the beautiful thing about using Ledger and Trezor is, yes, you can still see the stats of the public address, but the private keys are not there. So even though it's there, it's not there. So nobody, even if your Trezor wasn't plugged in, you still couldn't transact. You can give it a try yourself if you'd like to verify that. Try to do a transaction without your Trezor plugged in, you will get an error. So, but if you don't want it there on the screen, if you don't want it to be seen, just remove the account and you'll be all good. John says, on Android, I am on beta 109. Is that the latest? Yes, sir. 109 on Android iOS, and I believe 93 on Chrome. All right. So let's continue on with the updates. Still moving good. And with this, we will continue to give updates every 2-ish weeks to let everybody know. Another part about the development, 2 big things we're working on right now is, so for those who have been following along, we are working on adding new liquidity sources to the wallet. So currently we have Uniswap V2 style dexes that are supported. And we have in the background finished support for Uni V3 and Balancer V2 and Fux. So what that means is on Ethereum and Binance, you're going to get access to Uni V3 and, Ethereum, Binance, and Polygon, you're going to get access to Uni V3. And also on PulseChain, you're going to get access to the forked Uni V3 liquidity that came over in the system state copy, which is really cool. So we will be a Uni V3 PulseChain swapping front end, right? And then on Polygon and Ethereum, you're going to get access to Balancer V2. And then on PulseChain, you're going to get access to Fux. And then we're also actively, and this is the one thing, this is the final aspect of pushing out the new liquidity sources to the wallet, is we are working on Pateus integration. So on PulseChain, you will also get access to Pateus. So very soon, when you do a swap within the wallet, you'll see Pateus, PulseX V1, PulseX V2, Fux, Uni V3, and then we'll also have access to the forked Uni V2, the forked Sushi Swap, all these things. So you'll have access to like 8 to 10 liquidity sources doing swapping within the Internet Money wallet on PulseChain. And what's really cool is at the very top, if you're a newer user, you're like, whoa, that's too much. It's fine. At the very top, there's a label that says recommended option, and that's the one that's going to yield you the most tokens. So yeah, So I'm really excited about adding the new liquidity. That is very close, and that's actually the last major feature between us and V1. So we should, within the next, I'm estimating about 2 weeks, the front end dev team is going to work on implementing that into the app. And that should be out soon, which will make the Internet Money Wallet one of the, if not the most liquid place to swap on PulseChain, because you're going to have access to Pateus, which is the leading PulseChain aggregator right now. But then you're also going to have access to all the individual dexes. And sometimes, I guess we'll see. Maybe Pateus is always number one. Maybe sometimes swapping on an individual dex is number one. We'll see as they're all compared side by side.
And as other aggregators come online as well, and other dexes that are out there in the community, we'll continue to integrate them in to the system. And who knows, maybe the battle of the dex aggregators will be within the Internet Money Wallet. We'll just develop and see how things go. Now, another public service announcement, always make sure that you check the number that's there to make sure it's what you expect. Don't go fat fingering around and click the wrong buttons. Calm down, take your time, double check, verify, and then click OK.
Well said, Don. And I want to expand on your point a little bit there. Is we know that there are other teams working on DEX aggregators now, and when they do come online, we will support them as well. So we are working towards being the DEX aggregator of DEX aggregators, so to speak. So we know that there's one team. I don't know if they've went public about it yet, so I'm not going to make that announcement for them. But there is another team that you all know and love that is working on a DEX aggregator in the background there. And then we have 9mm, a new DEX coming online, which is a Uniswap V3 fork on PulseChain. And then we have 9-inch, which is a Uniswap V2 fork coming online on PulseChain. So when those things come online, that's not a major update for us. New DEX aggregators would be, but like 9mm or 9-inch, those don't constitute big updates. We just add those to our existing smart contract, and then they're immediately supported in the wallet. So we're going to be able to support all these new DEXs that come online. And then also, I want to take a moment to maybe have a little education moment. And maybe some of you already know this, so maybe I'm preaching to the choir. But when we say DEX aggregator, let's break that down a little bit. So there are two major types of DEX aggregators. What we have in the Internet Money Wallet is actually a DEX aggregate. Is actually a DEX aggregator. It aggregates the quotes across the DEXs. You use our smart contract to aggregate your trade to other DEXs. Okay, that's one level. The second level is something like 1-inch or Pateus or Matcha, where it takes a trade and it splits that single trade across multiple DEXs. Don and I, we actually call that atomic swapping, right? So that's an atomic swap. Now, it's all still DEX aggregation, but those type of DEX aggregators have the feature of atomic swapping. So maybe we'll coin that. I haven't heard anybody else call it that. So maybe we can coin that atomic swaps. But I just wanted to take that as a little education moment to outline the distinction. So as our DEX aggregator continues to expand and support all these DEXs, we just don't yet have the feature of atomic swapping.
And let me just evolve a little on that statement too. You hear a lot in our community of savvy crypto experienced sharks. Why would I go to your wallet and pay the 70 cents per $100 fee when I can go directly to the DEX? Well, I got to ask you this question. What DEX are you going to go to? Which one of the 15 DEXs are you going to go to make your swap? Oh, you're going to go to that DEX? Okay, well, if you went to this DEX, you would have gotten an extra $15 per 100 on your trade. And all you had to do was spend 70 cents to do it, 70-ish cents. So I think that as more DEXs come online, you'll begin to see, and the community will begin to see more and more of the value of seeing everything in one place and just boom, clicking that button. Because by the time you go searching all those dexes and going back to the other original first one that you saw that might have been the best, well, guess what? The price might have slipped on you. You know how fast this stuff moves. So taking advantage, being ready when the opportunity strikes, that's what it's all about.
I'm really glad you said that, because that is one of our strongest value propositions for the in-app swap. And I'm just going to, again, expand on what you said, because it's a great point. When you
say, yes, we are going to be the top DEX aggregator in the IM wallet. And thank you for all your service out there in the main chat. And again, I can't thank you admins enough for all that you do.
100%. 100%. I see several of our admins in here. Shout out to all of them.
Yep.
So when you go to do a swap, let's say you're swapping from Pulse to PulseX, whatever. Wherever you go, if you go to one place, you're only getting one quote. If you go to 2-3 places, you're only getting 2 or 3 quotes. And like Don said, sometimes these markets move so fast that by the time you get to quote 3, quote 1 has already changed. So basically, you're just trusting whatever source you go to be the best source. In the Internet Money Wallet, you're going to see all sources actually that don't even have other front ends at this time. You're going to see all those sources simultaneously, and you're going to be able to execute that trade right then and there. And maybe it is Pateus, the DEX aggregator, or the atomic swapper. Okay, maybe it's Pateus, the atomic swapper. Maybe it's the forked Uni V3 that doesn't have another front end. Maybe it's PulseX V1. We don't know. But you're going to know the moment everything is propagated side by side. In that instant, you're going to be able to execute the trade that yields you the most tokens. And yes, like Don said, you do pay 70 cents per $100 for that fee. But 2 things, like you said, 1, if you're yielding more tokens, the fee pays for itself. So it's like you're not even really paying the fee. Thing number 2, 100% of that fee goes back to the community anyways.
Booyah.
So it's healthy for the ecosystem. And some of that fee buys and burns Hex, buys and burns time, buys and burns IM. It is complete cyclical and a self-propagating ecosystem. And it's actually value-driven. You get to see everything at the same time. And you get to know, not guess, you get to know you're getting the best trade.
Can it be any better?
I don't know. I don't know. I have some ideas maybe, and I'm going to reserve those close to the vest. But that's pretty dang good.
Yep.
All right. Fast Abdul asks a question. Can liquidity providing be handled inside the wallet? Not yet. That is on the roadmap of being able to do these liquidity positions inside the wallet. But for now, what you can do is connect your wallet to the DEX that you want to provide liquidity on. And if you need help doing that, we have a tutorial on our YouTube channel of how to connect to DEXs. Pepe says, that's a huge game changer. Good job, devs. Agreed. We have an awesome team.
Yep. Thanks, Pepe.
All right. With that, let's go into another big update that's being worked on is the Wallet Connect. So Wallet Connect does work, but there are some instances where it's a little clunky. And so we have been working on making that a much better experience. So we've made a lot of upgrades and enhancements to the Wallet Connect functionality. And in this next update, you should see that. And out there, if you are testing any dApps where Wallet Connect is not working with the Internet Money Wallet, there are 2 questions that have to be asked. Is it Wallet Connect V1 or is it Wallet Connect V2? Now, I know for most people, it's like, how the heck do I tell the difference? Well, feel free to hop into the Telegram and at Internet Money IO and ask, hey, is this dApp Wallet Connect V1, V2? So Wallet Connect, the provider, has turned off Wallet Connect V1 and no longer works. So any dApps that are using Wallet Connect V1, the Internet Money wallet won't work. No wallet that uses Wallet Connect will work because Wallet Connect V1 no longer works. So your dApp that you're using has to upgrade to Wallet Connect V2. And they're only going to be motivated to do that if more people continue to remind them. So big ones that we know are not on Wallet Connect V2 that are being upgraded to Wallet Connect V2 as we speak. The PulseChain bridge, we have communicated with the PulseChain dev team. They are actively working on Wallet Connect V2 and app.icosa.pro, which is another big one that our users ask about a lot. We have spoken with Alex. He has upgraded to Wallet Connect V2 on Ethereum, and he's porting those changes over to PulseChain. Now, don't throw any shade towards these dev teams that are on Wallet Connect V1. It is a major upgrade, a major dApp upgrade. So it's not like, oh, hey, it takes 5 minutes. No, it's a major core functional upgrade. And so extend some grace towards those dev teams because it is a feat and we appreciate everybody making the upgrade. Anything you want to say there, Don?
No, I think you're right. I mean, it takes weeks, months, in some cases, and thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars to upgrade. So it's understandable why some don't. But you know, the ones that do and have done, it's greatly appreciated. Keep up the good work. Thank you, guys.
And if you're out there and if your dApp is on Wallet Connect V2, let us know that you're having some quirk because maybe it's something we're doing. Maybe it's something the dApp itself is doing. And, you know, we're out there constantly working together with dApps to enhance our experience and them to enhance their experience. There's one dApp out there that people are using in the PulseChain ecosystem that we have made a lot of enhancements to accommodate for. And actually, there is still one thing pending on their end. So it's great when the users provide feedback for everybody, right? Don't be afraid to provide user feedback, not just for Internet Money, for whatever product you're using. Because a lot of the time, the teams don't know unless you tell them. Feedback is how us as development teams grow and software developers grow. Please don't be afraid to provide that feedback. Okay. So let's move on from that. Yeah, we've addressed all that. Okay, let's talk about, we also, in this update, you will see that a lot of tokens have been, let's talk about that. So we updated the way that we were adding preloaded tokens to the wallet. Previously, it was all those tokens were just added to your account, right? They were all just there. And as we started to add more tokens, we realized, well, that got kind of clunky and cumbersome because we also wanted to continue to add more tokens. We were like, okay, well, we can't have an account. Every time someone adds an account, there's 1,000 tokens in there. You can't do that. So we created this popular token. So if you click add account, you're going to see popular tokens and you're going to see import tokens. So the import tokens is how you add custom tokens. Popular tokens is the preloaded tokens. So we added about 20 to 25 new tokens to that list. Now, some people, again, we tested literally as much as we could. Some people were noticing some weirdness with that. Just if you delete the tokens, like some people were noticing that, oh, hey, all those tokens got added. Just delete them. They go back to the list. And it's a one-time weirdness. As we add more tokens, which we are, if you are out there and you're like, oh, my token for my community was not supported, it was not intentional. We're trying to support every community. It's just a process. So please DM us on Twitter at InternetMoneyIO. If you're a member of a community, if you're the project lead, whatever you are, and we'll get the logo from you. We'll get the correct contract address from you, and we will preload your token as well. We want to support as many communities as possible because we want everybody to have the Internet Money wallet as the easiest way to onboard into their community. That is our goal. We're neutral, right? We're not taking sides out there. We want to support everybody. And yeah, that leads me into the next thought of here's where software testing or development gets so weird. So one unforeseen thing was the way that, so it's actually a cool feature, right? If you go into the popular tokens, and even if that token is not imported into your account, you will see the balances there in the popular tokens. Great, clean, amazing feature. I love it myself. It's almost like I use it for the tokens that have smaller balances, right? Well, what happened was when we added 20, 25 new tokens, it made the app a little clunky and slow because the way that we're fetching prices from Deck Screener, it added some lag because now it's fetching all those prices and all those balances. So we're going to pause that part of it, right? And we're not going to make an upgrade to support that feature just yet. Because again, this is called feature creep in the software development world. It's going to take time. It's going to hold us back from V1. And so it was an unforeseen thing. So the popular tokens will remain, but the balances in the popular tokens is going to be paused to increase app speed. And it's just, this is why software development is endless, because you think you go one way and then software says, oh, no, here's this thing. And you get sucked into this whirlpool. So this is why things take time. This is why when you hear people say software is hard, this is why. It's because you literally enter into an abstract, conceptual only reality. And there's no way to actually know what's going to occur in its fullness until you do it and you push it to the wild. So extend that love and grace out there to your software development teams. Don, anything you want to say on that point?
Well said, man.
Okay. So final, DM us on Twitter if you would like to see your token supported in there. Let's see. John says, about a month ago, I was building the IM swap router contract on my local machine. I need to find and set up DEX contracts to get the swap router working. See, John, the legend of the first internet money community developer.
Yep.
Sage says, any word on optional integrated PulseChain token list from Alex? We do have that list. We have not integrated it yet. But this won't affect the speed. What's affecting the speed is that we're fetching balances and prices for that entire list. So as that list grows, it's putting a load on the wallet. So, and it's doing that across. So if you have like 5 accounts, 10 accounts, it's fetching all those balances and all those prices across all those accounts. So one thing we want to do after V1 is change how we fetch prices so that we can support that feature. And overall, it will speed up the app in various ways. But again, after V1. This is not a copy and paste project. No, it is not. This is innovation at every turn. Thanks, Abdul. Don, let's go ahead and let's talk about some buy and burn updates.
Yeah.
You want to pull up the buy and burn on your screen and share screen?
Sure.
And anybody out there with any questions, feel free to drop them. This is an AMA. If you're unfamiliar with our buy and burn, it's a really, really cool. Hey, drop a comment if you're unfamiliar with our buy and burn. Don't be nervous. Drop a comment. It's okay. I want to know if there's anybody out there because I do want to elaborate a little bit. All right, let's see what we got. So here we are. Time on PulseChain. Wow, there's 715,000 pulse ready to go.
No, that's a period after 715.
Oh, I was like, wow, that's big. Okay. So what you can see here, this is an example of the time buy and burn. So far, 161,000 time has been burned on PulseChain. And Dom, what I think would be a cool upgrade here is to have a percentage of the total supply that represents.
I like
eventually.
That. Yep.
Yeah. So there's about 11,000 pulse ready to buy and burn. and there's 2.5 total million pulse that has been claimed. So what's one thing that's very special about the time buy and burn is that there's only 2 billion time per chain. So as time gets bought and burned, the total supply obviously decreases. And what that does is if you're holding time, your position in relation to the total supply has increased. So that means you're earning an amplified share of dividends just by holding. That's something big that a lot of people are learning every day. All right, here's IM. Okay, so someone just bought and burned there. There's 0 in there. And if you want to check out these stats for yourself, you can go to app.internetmoney.io. Yeah, Pepe. Let's go Hex. What does Hex look like? Yeah, so if you didn't know, every swap in the Internet Money wallet buys and burns Hex, IM, Time, and Pepe. Now, if you're a Pepe user, we built this for the Pepe at PulseChain community. We would love to see some more support from the Pepe community. So, but anyways, let's go back to time real quick, Don. I'd like to see the time one again. So what we're seeing here on the stats, let's run through the stats real quick. So that top stat there is how much pulse is available in the buy and burn contract to buy and burn time. That second stat there is how much time has been bought and burned. That third stat there, the sweep, is how much is available to be brought over to the buy and burn contract, or sorry, to time itself. That fourth stat there, claim, is how much is available right now to claim to be able to buy and burn. And that fifth stat is how much pulse has been used to buy and burn at this moment in time. If you're not familiar with how the buy and burn works, here's a quick overview. Every swap in the Internet Money wallet generates dividends in the form of PLS. 100% of those dividends, PLS, get distributed to the holders of time. Don, go ahead and scroll down. This contract right here is holding 18 million time. That means this contract is earning dividends based on holding 18 million time. All the pulse or dividends that this contract receives, it uses 100% of them to buy and burn whatever token off of the open market. Now, anybody can participate in this. It is a community buy and burn. It has no admin keys. So you can deposit a portion of your bag or your whole bag, whatever you want to do, into this. And you can remove it at any time. It doesn't get locked. You're not staking. You can pull it in and pull it out. Only you can withdraw your time as well. So nobody can take your time. So as more people deposit time into this contract, as time gets burned, it even amplifies the burns and the buy and burns for these tokens. And it's not an extra. One thing we hear all the time is, oh, it's an extra burden on the swappers to pay for that. No, it is encompassed within that 70 cents per $100 that we talked about earlier. It's just the contract is a holder itself. Don, anything you want to say on the buy and burn?
Yeah, I think that, like I like seeing this number still in the millions. When you're DCAing into a project or an asset that you love, to take 1% of your DCA and put it into this contract every time, it's going to do wonders for you in the future. I mean, just think about the fact that, we're still not even in V1, and 161,000 out of 2 billion, it's not a large percentage, but it's still an amount, has been burnt, never to be seen again, removed from the liquidity pool, which was a small green candle there, and then burnt, which is going to further strengthen the floor. And yes, your dividends get magnified. So if everybody was doing that, if everybody was putting in 1, 2, 3% of their DCA, and this number was 200 million, imagine what this number would be. So if we're all doing a little bit there, and whether it's for time, internet money, Pepe, or Hex, throw it in the contract. If you just bought 10,000 of a token, put 100 in there, because it's gonna end up making its way back in the form, with time at least, in the form of dividends, because your percentage is gonna get magnified. So it's a big thing that we're doing. We'd love to be able to expand this out to a lot more community projects, because that's bullish for time, because you'd have to buy time to put it in there to do that. Again, future iterations, but for now, these are working. So don't be afraid to put it in. Just start testing it out. Even if you have like a little burner wallet that you want to throw 100 time into just to test it out, I suggest that you do that.
Exactly. So that is very important, because we don't need it. Well, not that we don't, hey, we'd love it, but the buy and burn doesn't need one whale to come in and throw in 10% of the supply to be successful. Like Don said, if everybody put in a small percentage of their bag, that's going to amplify, and you don't lose the time. You could take the time out at any moment. So you're not giving anything up. You do, the contract does get the dividends instead of you for whatever amount of time that you put in there. But if everybody put in a small portion of the bag, this is unique to time. The other tokens, they do get bought and burned and removed from existence, but time is very unique, because if you are still a time holder, you get more dividends because your share is increasing. So Pepe actually asks a good question. So as time gets burned, the fees are not actually going to the burn address, just holders. Isn't the burn address considered a forever holder? Pepe, I'm glad you asked. So there's two types of burns. There is what's called the zero address, the burn address, the dead address. That is not actually a burn. It is, in the sense that you can send the token there and nobody has access to it always and forever, right? So it's like a forever lock, more so than it is a burn. But you can call it a burn because it's never going to re-enter back into existence. It's literally impossible to do so. So like for Hex, that's the case. Hex doesn't have a burn feature. It does when you stake it, the Hex gets burned, but the burn only activates if you're using the staking feature. So you can't just delete Hex. So to burn Hex, you have to send it to the dead address, the burn address, right? For time and IM, it's different. The contract actually has a burn or, delete feature. You can delete tokens from existence. They're no longer considered on chain. They've been removed. They don't exist. So that's the case for time, is when you buy and burn it, you buy and delete it. You're not sending it to the dead address. So that's why the dividends get amplified for remaining holders, because the burn address isn't holding any time. They just get removed. So that's a great question. And that's the difference there. And actually, I'm going to, for my Hex bulls out there, I want to put in a little bullish sentiment for Hex as well. So because Hex gets sent to the dead address, it doesn't actually get deleted. This is actually more bullish for Hex. So I love tokenomics, because there's all these nuances. For time, it's more bullish that it gets deleted. For Hex, it's more bullish that it doesn't get deleted. Why? Because if you're a Hex staker, your yield is determined based on the total existing supply, right? The non-deleted supply. So you want, if you're a staker, you want, the best case scenario for you is more liquid Hex and less people staking Hex, right? That's the best possible reality for Hex stakers. So as we buy and burn, not we, as the contract buys and burns Hex, we're sending that to the dead address, which means Hex stakers, their yield is amplified based on that Hex that's over there, locked forever, non-staked. It's amplifying Hex staking rewards. So it's actually, we've made it as bullish as possible for time holders and as bullish as possible for hex stakers.
Yep. Exciting stuff.
And John, hey, I'm glad you're diving into that. That's awesome, man. Okay. I believe if we'll give it a couple more minutes, we'll just babble on here. But please, if you have any questions, ask away. If not, we'll shut it down really soon and we'll keep this under an hour. But I guess just to reiterate the TLDR of everything we said, we're still on pace to submit for security audit within the next 2 to 4 weeks. We have got some new versions coming out still before V1 that should clean up a lot of some of the weirdness or quirkiness rather, that people are experiencing. If you're somebody out there, hey, I also want to say, since our last AMA, we've seen a lot more community support on the socials. So I want to give a shout out to everybody who has been liking, commenting, retweeting, all that stuff. You've been doing great. Keep that up. That's been amazing. It's good for numbers, good for engagement. Let's keep doing it. And yeah, stay tuned, stay involved. We have another AMA coming up on Wednesday. Let me pull up the exact time. So we've got an AMA coming up on Wednesday in our Telegram channel at 20 CST, military time, 20 or 24-hour time rather, CST. And then we have a Twitter space on the 6th at 11 CST. So there should be some further updates, right? Because a few days of development will have gone by. And to reiterate, the website also, we expect to launch within the next 48 hours. Actually got Don texted me on the side, sneak peek of the website. I don't normally I'd say yes, but because we're about to go live, I just want it to be a good reveal.
All right.
I think that would be, let's let it be a cool reveal, you know?
You the boss.
And, actually, our web dev literally messaged me on stream right now, and he asked me to connect when we're off stream because he thinks we can launch it today. So we may see it today. So that's no expectations of launch of site today, but we're in that. I literally just got that message. So
let's go, Nick.
Let's go, Nicola. Where can I pick up the merch? Let me drop you that link real quick.
Try to drop a link. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, did it not work?
Yeah, it says the comment has failed to post internet money.
Okay, let me get that. So this merch store here was actually made by a community member. We get zero profit, zero proceeds. It all goes to him and the creator of it. So we're not shilling this because we're not making any money. We're making $0 off this merch. But we shout out to Crypto Wares for making this sick merch. I mean, look at this hood. Can't see it. Dang it, hold on. Look at that. You're going to tell me that's not sick? So if you use checkout code Internet Money, you also get a random 5 to 15% discount on your whole order. So yeah, Crypto Wares, I dropped the link. And he also makes a lot of cool merch for the community as well. It's not just Internet Money. So really go support this guy. He's doing amazing work out there.
Yeah. And the quality of it's good. I mean, I love this hoodie. It's one of my favorite ones.
Me too. I love this hoodie.
Actually, I got a pair of swim trunks that I wear at, in the summer I wear at the pool.
Me too. I wear them everywhere. Let me show you these I got a pair of running shoes.
Love
it. I wear Internet Money merch every possible way I can. Charity Dunning. What's up, Charity? Good to see you. I'm late. Did I miss anything regarding heading out of beta? You did. Go back and rewatch the stream, maybe about 10, 15 minutes in. We really deep dove there. But long story short, we're still on the 2 to 4 weeks of being there. Next 2 to 4 weeks submitting for security audit. That hoodie is totally gangster. Don't get me started. Actually, I have another one that I really like to wear too. It's the same style of hoodie, but instead it has all IM coins, and on the pocket right here, it's the alien holding the IM coin. And I love it too because it's like it's cinched around the wrists, so you get like a nice, it doesn't overlap your hand. That whole weirdness. I really like that about a hoodie. It's like RH on stream, yeah, but we're shilling the brand. So it's like it's better. Honestly, it's better. I'm just gonna say it. It's better because all the merch we wear, we're not promoting another company. We're promoting this right here.
Hey, Fast Abdul, don't be surprised if I slide into your DMs with that comment.
Fast Abdul, man, he's fast. Watch out. He is fast. He's the fast. Exactly. He is the fastest guy I know. Look at that. Oh, I can't. But look at that little character. That guy's up to something. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't see any more questions. So I'd say let's go ahead and wrap this up. Again, keep your eyes peeled. You might see the new website today. If not, join us in our Telegram channel at Internet Money IO this Wednesday at 20 Central Standard Time. Usually our Telegram AMAs, they actually have a lot more questions and stuff. So that's a really cool. I really like our Telegram AMAs. I think you get to talk to a lot of people on it. It's really cool. I like those. So Telegram this Wednesday, 20 CST. Keep your eyes peeled for the new website. Might be launching today. If not, hopefully within the next 48 hours. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Don, any last final words?
Just be safe. Be careful. No one legitimate will ever DM you, especially in our chat, even if it says my name, KG's name. Just be careful out there, people. Be smart. Think twice. Don't rush to make a decision.
Completely agreed. KG's crypto rule number 2, never FOMO. And with that, we will see you guys and girls this Wednesday. And hey, stick around for 2 minutes. Enjoy the Internet Money Anthem. Peace.
What is cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency is more than just money. Cryptocurrency is a lifestyle, a philosophy, an ecosystem, the means by which human beings to attain financial freedom, not just in the sense of multiplying their investment, but giving humans the ability to interact with money in any way that they see fit. And if that way doesn't already exist, that's the beauty of crypto, is you can create it. And that's what we've done here. Internet money is the future. Internet money is the future. What is internet money, you ask? Well, it's just that. The future. Internet money. Internet money is the future. Internet money.
Base God on the blockchain.
Internet money. Internet money. Financial freedom. Internet money. Internet money is the future. Internet money. Internet money is the future. Internet money.